Crewmate, there is one imposter among us. Pride flag in username. Opinion not valid. Reader's added context. The user in question doesn't have a pride flag in the username, but the flag of Germany. Now, here's the thing though. Is national pride not still pride? That they're not the same thing? That's not how that works? Guess I'm the fool. This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are going to be returning once again to r/LGBallT. If you don't know what LGBallT is, I have a whole playlist of other videos that you can watch on exactly the same subreddit, or you can just watch this one and you'll get it. It'll make sense. Very quickly before we begin, I just wanted to mention that YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra video every single week for as low as £1 a month. That equates to about 25p per video. So if that is something that interests you, please do consider joining, as it really helps support the channel. Also, I will be live in 2 hours as of this video going up, probably, so do come over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/bluethenerd. I love streaming and I'd love to see more of you guys there. I can't stream every Thursday, but I do try and stream every Thursday, but some weeks my work shifts end at midnight, so it doesn't really work out on those days, but I will do my best. But yeah, do come over to my Twitch. Now, I need to get into the subreddit because the building works next door are incredibly loud and they're listening to about 3 different radio stations at once. The birds that nest in our roof that we've been contacting the landlord about since we moved here and have done nothing about are incredibly loud as they're constantly fighting today, and the downstairs neighbor is having sex. I am overstimulated. Let's get into the subreddit, shall we? What transphobes think happens if you misgender a trans person? Good morning, sir. How dare you assume my gender? I'm not a man, you fucking moron. I'm gonna cancel you. What will probably happen if you misgender a trans person? Good morning, sir. Actually, it's miss. Oh, sorry, miss. No worries. What will probably happen if you misgender a trans person on purpose? Hey bro, hey my man, how does it feel to be a guy? You know you'll never be a real woman, right? You're an asshole. Yeah, pretty much. Like, chances are, if you misgender a trans person, they're just gonna correct you. The same thing that would happen if you misgendered a cis person. If you went up to a cisgender man and called them miss, they would probably say, oh, I'm a man, and you'd go, okay, and the same in reverse. They've only made this a problem when it comes to trans people, right? Like, it's only a problem when it's trans people because they need something to get mad about, right? And trans people are currently their scapegoat to get mad at so that we're not paying attention to other things, you know, like the fact that Trump is on Epstein's list thousands of times and is currently destroying another country. That said, this video is going up like in 2 months' time. I'm recorded well in advance, so who knows? Trump might have already destroyed that country. That country could have destroyed Trump. I've yet to find out. You guys already know. But yeah, it much like a lot of things, when a cisgender person does it, it's fine. When a trans person does it, suddenly it's an issue, you know? Like changing your name. When a cis person changes their name, everybody just respects that and calls them by their new name that they've legally changed it to. If a trans person does it, suddenly it's too hard to remember. If a cis person takes steroids or gets implants or gets, you know, hair implants or various things that are gender affirming care, then it's just a cis person expressing their gender, you know, a cis person achieving that masculinity that they need or that femininity that they need. If a trans person does it, suddenly, oh, you're mutilating your body. How could you be doing this? It's unnatural. It's not what God would want. They have different rules for cisgender and trans people because they're hypocrites. Watch what happens when I flirt with Bambi lesbian. Hey cutie, I'm fawning over you. Caught off guard. Like a deer in the headlights. Sorry I ever tried. Deer in the headlights. Do 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 do. I learned what Bambi lesbian was from this post specifically. Apparently Bambi lesbian is a lesbian who prefers romantic attraction over sexual attraction. I like that. I also just think it's really cute. That's just one of the, I've done a few videos on LGBallT now, right? I've seen a lot of these comics and I have yet to have encountered something that is as cute as Bambi lesbian. The whole color palette, the whole design, everything about it, just fucking adorable. It's just fucking adorable. Hi MLM. interjection because I need to talk about it. Whenever I see MLM, I don't immediately think of men loving men. That's not one of the places that I got my start in on YouTube was 1, anti-vaxxers, and 2, anti-MLM, which isn't homophobic. It's anti-multi-level marketing. Multi-level marketing, for those of you that don't know, is a pyramid scheme. It's a scam. It's a company whose model is sell products to people below you so that they can sell products to people below them. The people at the top make the most money. Obviously, most of the people at the bottom lose money because they've taken all of the responsibility of selling a product that no one wants, right? It's very rare that people are actually successful in multi-level marketing, and the people who are do it by scamming, right? It's a shitty practice. I worked for a company who wanted to start MLM, and I'm kind of glad that the company didn't work out. But genuinely, it's a really shitty practice. But that's where my mind goes whenever I see MLM, even in queer comics, just because it's one of like those facets of capitalism that's just really shitty and pervasive. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Hades is now yelling. What? What are you yelling about? Come here. I'm in for llama. It's gonna be a very comfortable hug. Oh, you're so big. Oh, you're a humongous boy. Hello. Did you just want a hug? Is that better? Anyway, back to the comic. Okay, bye Hades. Hi MLM. I just want to check in and see if you're still down to hang out on Thursday. I'm lesbian. Huh? But your flag 0.99 speed of light. I hate physics. This is a motherfucking blue shift, red shift Doppler effect meme, but queer. The crossover I wasn't expecting, but that I'm glad I got. Couple cutie patooties spending some time together. So who's the man and who's the woman in this relationship? I am. Obviously, idiot. Were you stupid? Were you dumb? Obviously, the bi-gender person is the man and woman in the relationship. Duh. Dummy. Stupid. I've always found that question to be really bizarre to ask anyone. Like, because first of all, it's none of your fucking business. You're prying into a personal matter that isn't any of your business. But second of all, when they say who's the man and who's the woman, that's not really what they're asking. It's actually weirder than that, right? It's already a weird thing to ask, but what they're actually asking, based on, you know, the kind of regressive view on gender norms and gender roles, they're not asking you who is male and who is female. They're asking you who is dominant and who is submissive, which is a really weird question to just ask people. It's just really weird, right? Who's the top and who's the bottom? Huh? Excuse me? I don't know you. Why? You can't just ask people that. She was so cute. You're sure you're straight? Huh? I'm not straight. No. Huh? Wait. Oh, yeah. That explains a lot. She was bi the whole time. You just couldn't see it. Obviously. I didn't actually know that was a straight flag, though. I didn't realize that the straight flag was just the bi flag without the middle band. I thought the straight flag was the black and white one. I learn a lot when I do videos on this subreddit because people know a lot more about the flags and identities than I do. The straight flag is black and white, so I'm curious about what that other flag is. That's interesting. I quite like the ally flag, though. The ally flag is fun. Women! Men! What are they arguing about? Who they are more attracted to? Food. Everybody. Yeah, can't relate. Me neither. The one thing that asexuals and pansexuals relate on is that they don't have a preference in that regard. It's just, you know, it's a multiplier, right? So asexuals, it's a 0. Pansexuals, it's, I guess, I think, so for asexuals, it's a multiplier, right? Like a 0. You multiply anything by 0, you get a 0, right? And then pansexuals, I don't know if you would call it a multiplier or an additive, right? Because if they're attracted to everybody, pansexuals still have preferences, right? You can still have preferences. So I'd say it's an additive because you just have a baseline attraction, right? And then people are just simply more attractive to you depending on your preferences, right? So I guess it's an additive rather than a multiplier because you can still have negatives in that regard. You have people that you're negatively attracted to. Your additive might not bring it into the positive. Blah, 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 blah. Many species of shrimp can spend their lives as both male and female. These shrimp are born male, Then later in life, seasonal or yearly cycles, their male sexual organs drop off and are replaced by ovaries. Are you implying that shrimps can be trans? Maybe. We are on to my favorite subject, okay? So I used to work in an aquarium. Leo currently still does work in an aquarium. I used to do talks. Leo actually works with the animals. I used to talk to people about the animals. One of my favorite subjects to talk about is the fact that animals change their sex very often. It's really common, especially in the ocean. Like, there are entire categories of fish that do it, right? So wrasse, for example, every species of wrasse has the capacity to change sex. In fact, all of the members of that specific species of wrasse are born one sex. Like, for example, cuckoo wrasse are all born female. And then depending on their age and the needs of the group, some of them will become male. There's also a similar thing to be found in groupers. They are all born female, and then the largest, most dominant female will become the male, depending on whether there is a male alive in that group. There's another species of wrasse called the humphead wrasse, which is very similar. It's literally competitive, so you have one male in a group of female humphead wrasse, and that male will be the largest. They'll be very large. However, if the female don't like the male, then they can try and outgrow him. And if one of the females manages to outgrow that male, she will become the next male and kick him out of the group. They can't turn back, but that can happen, right? They can kick the male out because they don't like him and just make a new male. There's another species of wrasse called the cleaner wrasse, which I love. They have a symbiotic relationship with a lot of other species of fish because they clean them. The cleaner wrasse can actually change both ways. They can change from male to female, female to male. Fish are awesome. It's really common in so many kinds of fish. And also, quite often fish completely swap what humans have as this kind of idea of like sex and gender roles. Fish don't give a fuck. You have fish like the seahorse where the male is the one that gives birth. You know, you have so many different varieties of how they work and what they do when it comes to reproduction and sex, because biology is not a binary, like even remotely. Ball ideas, egg, torn fabric. I really like the egg one. And also, it's just funny to me because if you don't know what the context behind that is, if you don't know the context behind what egg means, then it's also just funny because it's just egg. But for those of you that don't know, I still need to take a look at the subreddit egg IRL. I'll try and remember to do that in the next video. For those of you that don't know, basically egg in this context refers to someone who believes that they are of a specific identity and hasn't quite realized that there's something else yet. It's most commonly attributed to trans people, but also quite commonly attributed to like gay people, right? So quite often you'll have someone who believes they're cisgender and they'll say something and people will go, I'm gonna check in on you in 2 years. And then they come back in 2 years and that person's transitioned, right? You get a similar thing with people that think they're straight and then the egg is cracked and they're like, interesting. So I really like the egg one is what I'm getting at. So I'm lesbian, but there's one thing I find really weird. I kinda almost only find androgynous girls attractive. To be honest, that's called having a type. And you can have pretty intense types, right? You can be very into a specific type of person, and that's absolutely normal. I think it's pretty normal to have types, to have specific types of people you're attracted to. And being attracted to people that don't conform necessarily to, you know, the most common standards of gender norms is also pretty normal. You know, being attracted to more androgynous girls, a pretty normal thing. That's just a type. I also kind of have somewhat of a thing like that. I'm pan, for those of you that don't know. But as pan people still have types. You just, you know, you're more likely to be attracted to someone based on, you know, who they are rather than their gender identity, right? But regardless, when it comes to men and women, I have very different types. When it comes to men, my type are weaselly little scrungy boys. Think David Tennant as the Doctor or Joseph Gordon-Levitt in 500 Days of Summer. My taste in women, on the other hand, usually, not always, but usually, tends to be women that could break me in half. Think Savika from Arcane or Gwendolyn Christie. Honestly, Gwendolyn in Game of Thrones and in Sandman, just in general. Yeah, that's my kind of taste in women. Completely different to my taste in men. And you know what? That's normal. The anatomy of gender fluid. No brains, no thoughts. Inner hollow part contains the gender fluid. Outer glass shell, very thick and strong, serves as a barrier. gender fluid. Hi there. I've always wondered, and now I know. Now I know how the gender fluid be. Could you like stick a straw in there and consume the gender fluid? If you consume the gender fluid, does it overwrite your current gender and make you gender fluid, or do you become even more gender? Like if as a non-binary person, if I was to drink the gender fluid, would I become the ultimate being of all and no genders? That's something to consider. Something to consider, isn't it? That's an interesting one. It's interesting. But that's where I'm going to end the video. That's all of the posts I've got for you today. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me. All of your names are up on screen right now. It genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means so much. So thank you to everybody that does. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.